Hello, my name is Em and welcome to this video. I hope that this video is finding you well. I am just starting to feel well. I've actually not been feeling too well across the last few days, and I did not have the energy to come on here and try and record and think. It just wasn't happening, but I'm happy to be back, and I have a lot of topics that have been swirling around in my brain. I mentioned in the last video that I've been doing a lot of reflecting on the past year and thinking about lessons learned or things that 2022 situations reminded me of. So little takeaways that I have from those situations. So I guess I want to give you a little background. So for this past year, I have really been thinking about taking bold steps. There are different things that I wanted to try, and so far, I would say that I've lived pretty, simply in terms of my location, and I've been wanting to see what it's like to live somewhere else and have that different kind of experience. And because I think there's a lot that can come with that. So just diving into a different place, what their culture's like, obviously food, meeting the different people, what kind of opportunities can be made or found, created, anything like that. I like that idea. And so that was something that I really had wanted to try. And I really have been scared. I've been scared because I know people, of course, that have moved. I'm sure maybe you do too, people who move all the time. It's not a big deal to them at all. But for me, it has been. And so to talk about, I really want to do this, and translate that to action has been two completely different things. So something that I've been trying to do is think of ways to, try to think of ways to be a little bit more bold. So at one point, we decided, let's try just going working in a different place for a little while and see how we like it, and maybe potentially move there, whatever. So I was like, okay, this sounds interesting. But I want to say, honestly, getting bold enough to take that first action step it required a little bit of soul searching. It required a lot of inspiration. I had to pour inspiration to my brain constantly from people who are far more bold than myself, and then get to the point where I did what I took a lock-in step. Now, I think each person has a different kind of lock-in step. So for some people that can be, they might be motivated in different ways. For me specifically, if I've invested in it, I need to go for it. And I can apply this to when I was considering becoming a dance fitness instructor, because it was a crazy thought. It just was something people had started to push me towards. And so I was like, I guess I can give it a try. But once I paid for that class, I was like, I'm going to that class and I'm going to become an instructor because I invested in it. And I just know that's how my brain works. Like, I paid for this, I'm going to use it. And so I know that that's my lock-in point. So once I did that, in spite of how scared I felt up until the point of booking a place to stay in this new state, I was a little bit scared. But once I locked that in, it became so much easier to process. And then I really was able to more clearly visualize all the different times that I put myself into a different kind of situation and I've survived. I was able to deal with it. It's like not everything goes according to plan, but I was able to handle the changes that did arise, and it'll be okay. So what I really want to point out though is how it was easier to accept it once I took that action, that first action step. And I was like, oh, okay, so this is happening. Now let me adjust to that reality. And it's so if I could just get myself bold enough to take that first action step that matters to me, that lock-in step that matters to me, then from there, it's so much easier to accept and really own that decision. So that's something that I feel like I needed to be reminded of this year. And I want to remind myself of that whenever I'm about to go into a situation or I'm struggling, like when it comes to making a decision, because a lot of the reasons why I might hesitate with a decision is out of self-doubt. And it's like, well, why am I doubting myself? Because I've worked through things that I couldn't really visualize before. I will go back to becoming a dance fitness instructor. Like that was very hard to wrap my brain around. Like I don't know, like how is this even going to happen? I could not visualize. But then once I put myself in a situation where I had to, I gave myself that reality, and I really could see myself in that new world, that new story that I'm creating for myself. So I don't know. That's just a little thought I wanted to share. Really about just owning a decision and how I realized that I own the decision. And yeah, I don't know. I hope that made sense. It just was on my mind a lot lately, especially as I have more bold steps that I want to take even the upcoming year. And sometimes it really takes a lot to take that first step, but it's worth it to pour in so many bits of inspiration and encouragement that it takes to really go for something, go for a dream, go for that, whatever that is that start to visualize. So anyway, I hope that this was helpful in some way. I hope that you will be safe out there until I have another video next week. I'm feeling much better. I'm feeling much better than I did a few days ago or even yesterday. So I should be good to go when it comes to that. But I hope you have a good time. I hope whether it's with family, friends, whoever, I hope that you will be happy and well. And I'll catch you in the next video. Bye for now.